Record. Hi, Todd. How are you today? What brings you in?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I guess I've been a little stressed lately about, the finances and stuff in the house, and really just thinking about my wife's diagnosis still. So from last week, it's still been kind of it's pretty heavy on my mind.
Okay. So you're having some stress about finances and your wife's diagnosis. Can
Yeah,
you, will you tell me more about the stresses that you're feeling?
yeah. So, last time I told you, like, it's just been hard, like getting out and doing stuff like that. And it's still kind of the same. Like, I feel like I want to go hang out with people, but at the same time, I'm just like, don't want to do it, like, unmotivated, you know?
Okay. Okay, so you're feeling a lack of motivation, not really wanting to socialize much.
Yeah, yeah, that's been happening a lot. And it's like, I could socialize, like, I could go ahead and socialize, but I just don't want to.
Okay. Okay. Um, can you elaborate on why you think you are not wanting to socialize, what's holding you back from that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, I don't want people asking me stuff about my wife. I
Mhm.
don't want them to ask me like, how is her diagnosis, or is she getting any sicker, or like how's everyone else handling it. It feels like a lot, and I don't want to be in that position where I have to like tell people this is my life. I don't want to share it right now. I'm not ready to share it.
Yeah, so you're not ready to talk about it.
Hmm.
Okay, that's understandable. Um, if you were ready to share it, can you think of anybody that you might want to share it with?
Um, Yeah, my friend at the hardware shop, I think I might talk to him about it. And he's usually really helpful. And his grandkids get along really well with my grandson. And so I feel like maybe I could talk to him about it.
Mhm.
Um, but only so much. Like, I don't want to say too much either.
Okay. Okay. So if you were to say something, where do you think that that boundary is? What are you comfortable with talking about?
Um, I don't think I'm gonna like I don't think I would talk to him about the financial, like about the money issues,
Mhm.
because money issues, that's for me. Like, no one else needs to really know about that stuff. And I also don't want like his grandkids to overhear anything and then maybe tell my grandson, oh, this is happening, and we know. And I haven't really spoken to my grandson about like the money stuff because he's a kid. He needs to be a kid.
Mhm. Absolutely. What have you discussed with your grandson?
So since last time I talked to him a little bit about the diagnosis with grandma, and I kind of told him what some of the things that might happen, how it might look. And
Mhm.
I explained why I've been feeling so like irritable, I guess, you know,
Sure.
and he gets it, but there's also like I can tell that he's kind of like doesn't want to ask me any more questions about it, and that's really the hard part about it all.
That's the hard part.
Hmm.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that? How it is the hard part?
Yeah, it's just I feel like if I tell him too much, then he may feel like like he needs to do more. Like, I feel like I'm gonna steal his childhood if I'm telling him so much about what's happening. And really, it's my responsibility. I'm the one that has to bear the weight.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Um, well, let's talk about the financial stresses. Have you considered a plan for, this new chapter of your life while you are the caretaker? No, and no longer working like you mentioned in your last session. Have you been able to budget a little bit like we discussed, or
Um, I mean, I'm budgeting. as far as budgeting goes. Like I'm doing what I can. I
Okay.
think it's just like I haven't really come up with a huge plan for how things are gonna go. You know, um, when it comes to like money, it can be so hard,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
It can be so hard to try to like just meet basic needs. Our grandson still has to go to school. He needs to be able to have a normal childhood. But if I can't provide that because I'm unable to work anymore, that it feels almost like I'm just struggling with that a lot, and I'm
Absolutely.
struggling to like minimize that type of damage.
Okay. So damage, you want him to have this normal childhood. You keep mentioning that. Can you will elaborate on what you feel you providing a normal childhood would look like?
Um, I think it's, him being able to hang out with his friends and being able to have sleepovers and go do things on the weekends and not have to worry about, um, like, not have to worry about like what's gonna come next, or have to worry about like why are we moving because I can't afford the house anymore, something like that, like just not really changing a lot about what he's used to
Okay.
and letting him like put down his roots like I did.
Okay. Put down his roots, keep this consistency, maybe a
Hmm.
routine sort of situation. That that makes sense. Absolutely. So you have talked about your stresses, financial with your grandson, with your wife's diagnosis. Have you been doing anything, or what have you been doing to take care of yourself in this difficult time?
Well, I've tried exercising a little bit more lately. You know, I've tried like going on bike rides, and then going for walks and things like that. But like actually exercising, um, not just like going for a bike ride. It's like I'm trying to work, work out. Like work
Yeah,
out energy.
absolutely.
So I guess that's been something that I've done to take care of myself. And then, um, I thought about maybe taking up something like trying something new, like a cooking class or something like that, like something that I've never done before. But I
Okay.
just don't see how I would be able to manage the time for something like that, and also still make sure that like Tyler's needs are being met and my wife's needs are being met. Like that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility, absolutely. Um, when you do ex when you do make the time to take care of yourself, to do these exercises that you mentioned, do you, do you notice a difference? How do you feel when you're done doing so?
I guess I feel okay.
Okay.
I think it's like it definitely helped me to take my mind off of things and be able to just kind of like disconnect.
Hmm.
So that's where it's really been helpful. Sometimes though it feels like I think about it and then I'm like I know this is why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like it feels like that sometimes and then it's
Hmm.
almost like okay, like I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay. So it feels like you're doing it just to distract yourself from
Yeah.
the issues that you're experiencing.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
And does that make it, how does that make you feel when you consider that?
That kind of gets me irritated a little bit.
Irritated.
Like
Okay.
that kind of gets me irritated because it's like I'm trying to make an improvement, but at the same time, I'm getting pissed off because it's like I know, like it's almost like I feel selfish in a
Hmm.
way because it's like why are my wife's needs so impactful right now? Like why is that diagnosis? Why is it so hard for me to deal with? It's my wife.
Hmm.
And so I feel like almost like selfish because this is the person that I've spent my whole life with, and it's at a point now where I'm just kind of like, what comes next?
Okay. So you mentioned feeling selfish in taking care of yourself while you're taking care of other people. Um, and that irritability that you keep coming back to. Um, but at first you said that you did feel better or at least okay afterwards. You felt an improvement of some sort. So would you say there's a balance between those two different feelings, or is it more one than the other?
Um, I guess there's a balance.
Okay,
When
okay,
you put it that way, I guess there is a balance.
that's good.
You know, it's weird. It's a weird thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's not just that. Like sometimes I get like stuck in my thoughts.
Doug, can you
I
explain what you mean by
remember, yeah, like remember when I last time I said that, I think about a lot about what's gonna happen in the future now that she has this diagnosis and stuff.
that?
There's a balance in my feelings, but at the same time, when I'm thinking that way, that's kind of where it gets like unhinged a bit. Like it's like I lose control and
Okay,
my thoughts get the best of me, and then it's hard to catch up to that. And like I just find myself really like just kind of spiraling.
okay,
And then at that point, I just don't want to talk anymore.
okay, absolutely. So you said unhinged, lack of control, spiraling. These are pretty intense words. Um, how have you been able to get yourself out of those feelings?
The bike riding is helpful,
That's good.
but sometimes I do it like I go really fast. There's like a little downhill area.
Okay.
Sometimes I go like super fast down that area and then kind of just like I don't close my eyes because I don't want to hurt myself, but sometimes I want to close my eyes, but not to hurt myself. But I want to just like sometimes I just want to feel like I'm just floating, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like it would be fun, but not to hurt yourself.
No, no, not to hurt myself. I don't think of that at all. I have way too much to live for. It's just like um I want to have that weightless feeling, or get the pressure off.
Okay. Weightless. Yeah, that's very understandable. You feel like you have a lot of weight on your shoulders right now with all of
Yeah, it
this
feels heavy.
responsibility for others. Absolutely. Feeling heavy.
It feels like the air feels thick sometimes.
Mhm. Okay. But when you do bike ride, you're able to get this at least reprieve, a sense of relief for a little
Yeah,
while.
I feel like it alleviates for a little bit.
Okay. Well,
Definitely does.
that's definitely a positive. Are there any other things that you've been doing that might, you know, offer a little reprieve as well? Anything else?
Well, the walking is okay.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll take Tyler with me and we just walk and talk about different things. We're big baseball fans,
Oh,
in
nice.
the household, and so sometimes we'll talk about baseball. It's like a good distractor, get just like not think about anything, and
Yeah.
it's all statistics and stuff, so it's not complicated. It's just kind of like who hit how many balls or who caught how many outs, things like that. So um, that helps too. And it's just talking to him about something that's not this
Hmm. Yeah.
and being able to just like be chill, like
Yeah.
be like calm about it.
Yeah. And to give him that sense of normalcy that you were hoping for.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like I want him to have a normal, just like not have to deal with it, not have to deal with so much of the pressure that could come with, your grandma not maybe not recognizing you in a few years.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a scary prospect for sure, for both of you.
Hmm.
But it's good that you have those moments to just disconnect from that and just be present with each other. I'm really
Right.
glad.
That's what makes a big difference. Yeah, definitely makes a big difference.
That's awesome. Well, I would, hope that you continue to do those things that give you a little sense of relief and maybe, try to find some more, incorporate some other things that give you relief. Um,
Hmm.
this is we're coming towards the end of our session, so maybe that's something you can focus on for the next session.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that I could take into consideration. I mean, it is helpful. Sometimes it's not. Like sometimes it's just like but it can be very helpful, and like the biking and stuff is good for my health and just being active, so I
Mhm.
know that that's important right now. Um and like you said earlier, like trying to find someone else to talk to, I could definitely try to talk to the hardware guy.
Yes.
He's been a close friend of the family. He knows my wife. He just he knows that there's a diagnosis is there. Um he just doesn't know like how hard it is for me to deal with it. And like my son doesn't really know that either. Neither does his brother. We just kind of carry it ourselves and
Hmm.
don't really show it as much.
Yeah, you're keeping it kind of repressed inside of you.
Yeah, it's like playing it like close to the vest, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you said that you are considering talking to your friend at the hardware store. It's okay to have boundaries about what you talk about.
Hmm.
That's you can control. So just keep that in mind if you do decide to talk to him.
Yeah, definitely. Like the boundaries are the most crucial thing there. Yeah, so that's definitely something that I'm keeping in mind and making sure like I feel comfortable.
What's most important, definitely.
Yep.
Well, it was very nice to see you, Todd. I will see you again next week, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.